Hey guys, I was just hanging out with a couple of old friends, and they were asking me how I got in so much better shape over the last few years compared to when they had seen me last in high school. So I thought I would just share my story to give you some inspiration if you're not happy with where you're at with your body and you've been trying to lose weight or you've been trying to build muscle, whatever the case is. For me, I was extremely skinny when I first started out and I absolutely hated it. I felt very insecure and I felt like I felt and looked weak, and I thought I looked really awkward because I was so skinny for having such a tall frame. I just thought I hated that looking like that tall, lanky guy. And so, of course, eventually I thought, okay, I need to put an end to this. I need to start working out and pack on some muscle. So I started lifting weights, started reading all the bodybuilding magazines, started taking the mass gainer shakes and using the creatine and all the other supplements that don't really do much. And I did get some results over time. Very slowly, I got little by little, like I got some results, but I wasn't happy with them. I still didn't feel confident in how I looked. I really taken myself from being extremely skinny to just average skinny. So it wasn't, to me, it was not the look I wanted. It didn't really make me feel that much better, honestly. So, and this carried on for all through high school and college until I started to just kind of tell myself that you're just always going to be that skinny guy. And I started to kind of just accept it, like, just kind of wrote it off that you're just always going to be that skinny guy. It's just your genetics. And, no matter all these different things you've tried, it's just not going to work for you. Um, and I do remember specifically one day when I saw this photo of me that someone else took, and I had my shirt off. And you know how it is whenever you take a photo of yourself and you can position yourself in the right way to look the best. But then when you see a photo that someone else has taken, it forces you to get really honest with how you actually look. That's what other people see. And what I saw in that photo was a guy that if I did not know him, I would swear that he had never stepped a foot in the gym a day in his life. And I honestly felt like a failure when I saw that because I had thought about all these years I had put into it and all the time I wasted. And I was just so frustrated because I felt like I was really trying, but I still was not happy with how I looked. I still did not feel confident. So at that point, I did consider giving up, actually. I thought maybe this fitness thing's just not for you. But that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to give this one last run, but this time I'm going to make sure that I'm giving myself the best chance. So I hired a coach, and from there, that's when I actually started to get results. I started to get noticeable results a lot quicker. So, I mean, of course, I got way stronger. I looked better. But the real key thing, though, is that I felt a lot better. Not only just having more energy and feeling healthier, but I had way more confidence. So I still do. For example, I would never have done a video like this in the past. And the other thing was that what I didn't really expect to happen was that the stuff that I learned from fitness carried over to the rest of my life and improved the other areas of my life, more so than getting in better shape. Because one thing I've found is that, the body is one of the very few things we have full control over. And if you can learn how to control that, control your diet, control your training, you can learn to control lots of other variables in life, like, for example, your career and the work you do, because the discipline you build from diet and training, that same discipline you start to apply it to everything else. So instead of sleeping in past my alarm and leaving the house in a hurry and being late everywhere, I've turned into a person that can wake up early. I can wake up at 4:30 if I want to. I can wake up at 4:30 and go to the gym consistently if I need to. I don't normally do that. I normally sleep in until about 5:30, but I can do that. And I honestly, now at this point, whenever I see a challenge, as long as it seems somewhat realistic, I know I can do it, because it's just like whenever you're in the gym and you want to lift more weight, and yeah, it's hard and you have to put in the reps, but eventually you get it. So um, yeah, I just wanted to share that story. So if you're feeling frustrated and you're not happy with where you're at, there is hope. For most people, it really just comes down to finding the right system and figuring out the system that works for you. And once you figure out the system that works for you, everything clicks, and then it's not completely easy, but it's a lot easier. So if you enjoyed this video, please share it with someone else who needs to hear this. Thank you.